Hello, this presentation is part of Code Basics Resume Project Challenge, and it primarily focuses on a company called Good Cabs, a cab service company that is operating in Tier 2 cities. So we have analyzed data from different cities across different time periods and derived some key trends and insights that could possibly help the company in improving its market share. The main challenge the company is facing is stagnation of revenue. So to tackle this issue, we focused mainly on the data of last 6 months, and we focused on areas such as customer acquisition, retention, and optimizing fares and improving the operational efficiency as well. So we focused our data analysis on these areas. The data which I have received from the company is in MySQL databases. I have received two databases. First one is trips database, where I have information about city trips, transaction related information, passenger summaries as well. And other database is target database, where I have monthly targets of the company, rating, and new passenger targets of the company as well. To carry out this data analysis, I have used tools like SQL and Power BI. SQL I have used to do some initial data exploration and ad hoc analysis. I have used Power BI to create reports and do some data transformation. For doing data transformations in Power BI, I have used Power Query, where I performed some data merging operation as well as data manipulation, data munging as well. And I've used DAX, which is data analysis expression in Power BI, to create measures that can help in doing some in-depth analysis of the data. To differentiate the market dynamics, I've classified cities into two groups: tourism and business group. I've included the parameters which I have used for this classification. I've classified cities such as Jaipur, Kochi, Chandigarh, Visakhapatnam, Mysore, Indore as a part of tourism cities, and Lucknow, Surat, Coimbatore, and Vadodara as part of business cities. The Power BI report which I have made has five views, namely executive, marketing, rating, targets, and miscellaneous views. Executive view covers bird's eye level view of overall data analysis. Marketing view focuses on customer retention aspect, which is of about repeat passengers. Rating view gives information about customer satisfaction, and target analysis, target view, it gives information about city-wise targets, like target of trips and target of new passengers, whether the city has met or not. And other views, miscellaneous view, where in-depth analysis is done. It gives information about month-wise and weekend and weekday wise also. In the executive view, the main KPIs are total trips, total fare, and revenue month over month change, and total passengers. So we shall explore the executive view now. So this is the home page of the Power BI report that I've made. You can see like executive, marketing, ratings, targets, and miscellaneous views. Like buttons are placed above their names. So on clicking on the button, you can navigate to the respective views. So for example, if we click on executive, we can go to executive view, where the KPIs that I've earlier mentioned are total trips, total fare, revenue month over month change, and total passenger. A small graph is placed beside each KPI to give month-wise analysis. In the sidebar, you can see the filters. By city type, you can filter out the data, business or tourism cities, and some abbreviations also I have mentioned in the sidebar. The visualization which I've used in this view is about fare and distance insights one, and other one is the trips contribution by city, where I've plotted city points in the map and given bubble size as trips contribution percentage. I mean, the higher the bubble size, the contribution percentage is higher. For Jaipur and Lucknow, you can see 18% and 15% contribution of trips, and you can see average fare, average distance, fare per kilometer, distance, maximum and minimum distance per one trip. All this statistics is also put in that table. So when we filter out by city, you can filter the data, as well as when we select any by month wise filter also, the data can be filtered out. One insight that could be given from this is business and tourism cities have different kinds of average fare. Tourism have higher average fare, while business cities have lower average fare. This can be attributed to the fact that tourism cities have higher average distances, because tourists tend to visit more places. So distance is higher, average fare is also higher. Business cities have lower average distance. That is the reason average fare is lesser. So those are some insights that can be taken from this view. Some of the key insights in the executive view are first one is the average fare and distance is higher in tourism cities, and second one is the city contribution. Jaipur and Lucknow, uh, where in the map you can see the size of the bubbles. Jaipur and Lucknow have higher size of bubbles, which is 18% and 15 percentage, and so they are lead in the trip volume. And one more insight is revenue trends. So the total revenue saw a spike in the month of May, which could be due to the reason that there is summer season and it is holiday season. So that might be one of the reasons for the spike in May month. So before going into marketing view, let's have a glance at marketing view KPIs. The KPIs in marketing view are RPR and NP by RP and NP RP month over month change. So RPR is obtained by dividing the repeat passengers to the total passengers. NP by RP is the ratio of new passenger to repeat passenger, and NP month over month change and RP month over month change, it gives a percentage difference of current month new passengers or repeat passengers when compared with the previous month for the respective measures. So let's look at the marketing view. In the marketing view, you can see the KPIs which we discussed earlier: RPR, NP by RP, and NP month over month change, and repeat passenger month over month change. You can see the graph is plotted beside each KPI indicating month-wise analysis. So next, we can see the business versus tourism RPR visualization, where we have business cities are performing better in terms of RPR, indicating that higher percentage of people of total passengers in those cities have been converting to repeat passengers. This could be a reason that maybe daily commuting is one of the reason that repeat passengers are becoming more in the business cities. And in another visualization, you can see that NP and RP, where new passengers have been reducing with the time, while repeat passengers have been increasing, and it reached a spike in the May, maybe reason because of the holiday season in the May. And another visualization is RPR insights by city, where you can see city-wise RPR. When we hover over each bar, you can get month-wise analysis for that city. So you can see that Surat, you can see the month-wise analysis. And in another visualization, you can see repeat trip distribution, where for each city, repeat passengers have been distributed in the categories like 2 trip category, 3 trip category, 4 trip category, etc. So to make the things easier, let's say an example of Chandigarh, say 100 repeated passengers. Out of 100 repeat passengers, for the 2 trip category 32, and 3 trip category 19 people were distributed. So for the Coimbatore, if you see that repeat trip passengers percentage, you can see that 20% and 70% are given for 5 and 6 trips, indicating that for the business city, people are taking a higher chunk of repeated passengers are taking more number of trips. Whereas for tourism cities, higher chunk of people are taking very less number of trips, like 2 or 3 trips. Uh, this could be a reason that repeat passengers in the tourism cities are not traveling as frequently as repeat passengers in the business cities. So that could be one of the insight that can be taken. Some of the insights that can be taken from the marketing view are first one is related to repeat passenger trips. Repeat passengers in business cities are traveling more frequently when we compare to the repeat passengers in the tourism cities. And other thing is NP to RP ratio. NP to RP ratio is 1.85 in business cities, whereas it is 3.61 in the tourism cities, indicating lower new passengers in business cities. So we can focus on a customer acquisition in business cities, whereas we can focus on customer engagement in the tourism cities. So the recommendation that can be given to the to both the cities is like we can introduce a subscription model in our business cities, since from the data we understand that the daily commuting factor is present in a business city. We can introduce a subscription model that can attract new passengers. And other recommendation is that we can collaborate with hotels and restaurants in the tourism cities, so that we can attract customers to take more number of trips and improve the customer engagement factor. These are some of the KPIs that have been used in rating and target views. Passenger rating and driver rating are basically average ratings. New passenger and total trip, it is the count of new passengers and the total trips. So this is the ratings view, and the KPIs here are passenger rating and driver rating. when we the average passenger rating is 7.66 and it is short of 3.94 percentage when it is compared with the benchmark rating. When we hover over the line graph, we can get month-wise analysis as well. And when we see the visualization of passenger ratings versus benchmark ratings, we can see city-wise analysis that the font and the data label indicates whether the rating has met its benchmark rating or not for that city. So red indicates that it is deficit, and green indicates it is surplus. So we can see that for Jaipur it is surplus of 0.33 when it's compared with the benchmark rating. And we can also see the visualization of new passenger and repeat passenger ratings. New passenger have higher rating, whereas repeat passenger have lower rating. I mean, repeat passengers are not satisfied with the customer service or any other issue, so we can see the lower rating. This has to be looked into. And there is another visualization of driver ratings by city where each bar indicates the driver ratings. Now we can go to the targets view. The targets view, we can see the new passenger and trips as KPIs. Both are performing less when we compare with their respective benchmarks. And when we hover over the graphs, we can get the month-wise analysis as well. This is trips for new passenger and repeat passenger. New passengers have lesser number of trips when compared to repeat passengers. Repeat passengers have 0.25 million, new passengers have 0.18 million. And there are two tables which shows benchmark performance for one is for trips and other is for new passenger. When we hover over new passenger, we can get the surplus value when it is compared with the benchmark of that city. And the similar analysis is done for new passenger as well. For each city, we can hover over and check whether the city has met its benchmark or not. And one more visualization is the time trends, the trips versus benchmark trips. Here you can see both for new passenger and trips. When we select the button, we can see month-wise analysis of new passenger and trips, so whether the target is met for that month or not. So this information is given both for new passenger and trips. So when we see that in March the new passenger target is not met, but April it is met. And the similar analysis can be done for trips as well. So we can see at some months it is met, and at some months it is not met, the target is not met. So these are the analysis that can be done from this view. So some of the insights from the rating view are repeat passenger ratings are generally lower than new passenger ratings. This has to be looked into. Some of the recommendations that can be taken are we can improve our passenger rating performance like by allowing customers to pay in multiple ways. I mean, we can include flexible payments for the payment options. And other thing is we can find out the busier areas in a particular city and place more riders in that cities, more number of riders, so that on-time arrival can be possible. And other thing is we can give training to our drivers so that they can be more friendly to the passengers as well, so that the passenger rating can be improved. With regarding to targets view, we can take some insights such as when we see trips versus targets analysis, we can see that for every month the trips are outperforming the benchmark, which is a good sign, except for the June. It is understandable that it is the end of the holiday season, so trips can be lower for that particular month. And also, when we see the city-wise analysis, Vadodara is performing less when compared to other cities. We can increase the trip volume for that particular city. And also, regarding new passengers, at every month, almost every month, we are missing the targets, which is to be looked into. And also, regarding Jaipur is a tourism city, and there is a possibility that new passengers has to be higher, but we are not able to reach the target, which has to be looked into. Like we have to enhance new customer or new passenger acquisition. So this is miscellaneous view. In miscellaneous view, we have multiple visualization, and one of them is monthly analysis for both revenue and trips. So we can select the buttons and change the measure as we wish to, and check the best performing month for that particular measure, that is revenue or trips. For example, now we have selected revenue, and in revenue we have best performing month as February, and least performing month is June, which is also indicated by the colors. And when we select a particular city, city-wise analysis also can be made. So for Chandigarh, February month is performing well, and April is performing the least, which is also can be seen from the colors as well. And we can hover over each marker point to get the values for that particular month as well. When we select trips, the similar analysis can be done, like least and highest month can be seen by the color code, like green and red colors. And now we see the city wise trips visualization where we see the top three and bottom three cities. Like when we talk about trips, Jaipur, Lucknow, Surat are the top three cities, and Vishakhapatnam, Coimbatore, and Mysore are the least cities. When we talk about trip count, and other visualization is revenue and trips distribution for weekend and weekday. So this is also color coded. We see that revenue from weekend is higher, and like which can be taken as a potential area for us to further improve upon. We can improve some kind of discounts on weekend so that we can increase revenue further. We can see the trips count is on weekday is higher when compared to weekend. So on improving trips on weekend, we can increase further revenue. That is an area that can be explored upon. And one more visualization is city-wise highest revenue, indicating the peak month and the daily trips as well. So for Coimbatore, we have April, Vadodara April. The corresponding revenue is also given in this table. And one more feature in this table is that trips per day is also included, which is the average number of trips per day for that particular city. We have also bars that can sort it and see which city is performing well in trips per day. We can see the tourism cities are performing well in the trips per day as well. So these are the insights that can be taken from this view. Yeah, so concluding this presentation, I want to share that the strategies and key insights which I've shared could help good caps in improving their performance and improving their market share as well. So yeah, this is Resume Project Challenge 13 from Code Basics. You can go to the website and download the files, and you can also attempt this challenge. And thank you.